All right, y'all just gotta stand right here. So you can't really see anybody, but they're just gonna ask me questions. I gotta talk just for a little bit though. Okay.
First question's from Alanna Rizzo. Go ahead.
Clayton, you need to move anything off of there? Are you good?
That's fine. Yeah, it's all good.
In that sixth inning, it looked like Dave said it was the plan that you guys had talked about, but it looks like your entire infield was trying to rally for you to stay out there. Was that the plan going into the game, that you'd face the first two batters in the sixth?
Yeah, that was the plan. We talked about it before the inning, and even though it was just two pitches, which made it seem super fast, and 2 outs, nobody on, we stuck with the plan. So credit to Doc for that one. And D-May came in, threw the ball awesome. Victor, same way. And Blake too. Unbelievable job by those guys tonight, which was huge. Okay,
With that strikeout of Zunino, you now have the all-time list in terms of strikeouts in the postseason, surpassing Justin Verlander. You now have 207. I know you're not about personal accolades, but what does that mean to you?
It just means that I've been on great teams that have gotten to go to the postseason a lot, and I've got to get a lot of starts in the postseason. So obviously a very special opportunity. My kids are a little tired, if you can't tell. And it's just a special thing to get to be a part of a team like this and get to be a part of some of those names. Hey, you guys go sit out there for 1 second, okay? Thanks.
Next question's from Andy McCullough. Go ahead.
They don't seem tired at all. They seem pretty amped up. It's great.
Yeah, they're a little amped up.
For you, which is like more emotionally draining, like pitching for 6 innings out there, or having to watch in the 8th and 9th from the dugout?
Yeah, I was talking to some of the guys, Walker and some of the other starters, just like the actual day that you pitch, you feel like you can have some say, some control of the game. But sitting there in the dugout and watching the last few innings, or watching a whole game for that matter, it's so stressful in the postseason, especially just because you care so much. So it is way more stressful watching than pitching.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett.
Yeah, Clayton, can you take us through the attempted steal of home? How surprised were you? Who did you hear tip you off to it, and how did that play out?
Yeah, so that's happened to me before. I think it was Carlos Gomez in Houston, and it was the same type of situation. There were 2 outs, and trying to steal a run right there. So obviously, I wasn't really anticipating it, but I have talked to the first baseman in the past, Muncy. I talked with him about it as well, just like, hey, I look at him originally, but when I come set, I don't really see the runner, so you got to yell at me if they start going. And he was yelling at me, step off, step off, step off. So instinctually, I just kind of did it, and that was a big out for us right there.
Next question's from Stephanie Apstein. Go ahead.
And as your kids get older and more aware of what's going on, is it more meaningful for you to have success like this when they can understand what's happening, and when you can get an ovation like this coming off the field, when they can maybe have some memories of this?
Yeah, I think Callie will remember this, the bubble time, and I hope Charlie will, and obviously my youngest Cooper won't, but I think any dad just wants their kids to be proud of them, so Callie told me she was tonight, so I'll take that for sure.
Next question's from Cary Osborne. Go ahead.
Clayton, they say the best players can kind of slow time down. In that moment when Margot was coming home, how fast or how slow did it feel like in your mind?
It's honestly, it was just kind of instinct to step off. So, thankfully it's happened before. I don't know if it really happened fast or slow, but I heard Muncy say step off, and I stepped off and threw it home. So, glad we got him out there.
Next question's from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys are maniacs.
Hey, Clayton, have you been able to appreciate not just the thought of pitching postseason games near where you grew up, but that you're also doing it at a stadium that is very pro Dodgers throughout? I feel like that's a combination that wouldn't present itself in any other scenario.
Yeah, this year has been just, special, weird, special, different in a lot of ways. So, I think to get to be here and, last minute we were able to get a few extra nosebleed seats, my wife said. So we got to bring, an extra 10 or so people here. So I don't know the exact number of how many people are here, but that wouldn't happen any other time because travel's so hard right now with what's going on in the country. So thankful that family and friends are getting to come to World Series games that I get to be a part of. And, I don't want to say it's working out the way that I wanted it to, just because being at Dodger Stadium would be awesome too. But to get to have family and friends here, to get to have, as packed house as it can be and basically seem like it's all Dodger fans is very special as well.
Next question is from Tim Brown. Go ahead.
Clayton, you mentioned before about watching games versus playing in them. You're going to spend the next 45 hours at least one win away from this thing that you worked so hard for. Any idea where your head's going to be at, where your heart's going to be, all that stuff?
Well, yeah, the off day is going to be hard tomorrow, I think, just because, it's going to be good for us, obviously resetting our bullpen and things like that, which is huge. But sitting around one win away from a World Series is going to be hard, especially when you've been in the same hotel for 4 weeks now. But, I think we can wait one more day and we'll all be ready to go game 6. And for myself personally, I'm still going to try and get ready, try and, recover as best I can and be ready to pitch at any moment, just because it's the last 2 games of the season,
Next question is from Jeff Passan. Go ahead.
Clayton, what does it feel like to walk off the mound in a World Series game to a standing ovation?
It feels pretty good. Yeah. It feels pretty good. I think, anytime you can have success in the postseason, it just means so much. That's what you work for. That's what you play for this month. And, I know what the other end of that feels like too. So I'll definitely take it when I can get it.
I got time for one more. Go ahead, Dylan.
Clayton, 4th inning there, they got runners on the corners, no outs. What are you thinking at that point in terms of, okay, how are you going to get out of this jam?
Yeah, you just try to, as best you can, one pitch at a time. Renfroe there, I got him 0-2. Hey guys, you can't do that. Just go sit. One sec, last question right here. Yeah, so I got him 0-2 and couldn't put him away there. So 1st and 3rd, nobody out. It's really just try to make pitches. You're not trying to say, you kind of almost assume that runner at 3rd is going to get in somehow. So you just try and get the next 3 guys out as best you can. And once Wendell popped that ball up, I felt like, I was a double play away from getting out of that. So that was a huge out, getting that first out from there. But, tonight, the whole night, it was kind of a grind. And it wasn't near as crisp as it was in game 1. My slider really just wasn't as good as it was in game 1. So, and curveball too, actually. So all things considered, to get out of there, only giving up 2 runs is huge for, me personally tonight.
Thanks, Clayton.
All right. Thank you. Sorry about my kid up.